Hi, and a huge welcome to Steve's Kitchen. Earlier in the week we made the sushi rice, the perfect sushi rice, and then I went on to use that to make an onigiri. Well, it seemed a natural progression that we make the rolled sushi next. So I'm going to show you today how to make very simply the rolled sushi, and I'm going to do the inside out style and the outside in, if there is such a thing. Now, if you haven't made the rice already, I'll leave that link just here, and we're going to take it from that stage where the rice has come off the stove. And now we're going to make that vinegar with a little sweetness in it to pour over the rice. To make our sweetened vinegar, we start with half a cup of rice vinegar, Japanese rice vinegar. And into that I'm putting 1/4 cup of white sugar and about a teaspoon of salt. Now we're just going to take that over to the stove and warm it gently, not to heat it vigorously, just until the salt and the sugar has dissolved. So we're not looking to boil the vinegar, we're just looking for the last grains of salt and sugar to dissolve and get a nice clear liquid again. And that is what we're looking for, so I'll just set that aside now and use it with our prepared rice. Now I have my perfectly cooked rice here, and before, when I made the onigiri, I poured the rice onto a wooden board. Now the Japanese have these beautiful wooden bowls. I haven't got one of those, but you must use either a wooden or a plastic bowl, because otherwise the vinegar will react with anything metal. So we're just going to put the rice now into this bowl. And then using a rice spoon or a soft-edged wooden spoon, we just want to gently spread the rice across the bottom of our container. And then we just want to take our sweetened vinegar and just pour it over the spoon, not directly onto the rice, just trickle it over the top of our sushi rice. And then again, using that soft edged spoon, we're just going to turn the rice gently, and it will slowly start to absorb the sweetened vinegar. And by treating the rice very gently, all the grains stay complete, which just makes pretty sushi. Now that sweetened and seasoned vinegar has absorbed into the gluten that surrounds the rice now, adding a wonderful flavour to this. Now we just want to evenly spread the rice across the bottom of our container and let it completely cool down, and then we're ready to start making sushi. Now there's a wonderful little story that I've heard from Japanese chefs where these little bits of rice that are on the side of the bowl need to be pushed back down into the family, otherwise they become dry and brittle and can ruin your sushi. Now if you know what that is, comments down below. And also it's a good idea just to cover the rice over with a damp cloth to stop it drying out. There are a whole load of things you can put into sushi. You can be as adventurous as you like. I'm keeping it fairly simple. One of my favorites, a little bit of tuna with some Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise in there. You can also use these crab sticks, which are very popular with the California rolls, carrots cut into little julienne matchsticks, cucumber of course, and the ever-present avocado. And of course, for our sushi, we're going to want some nori sheets. Now, I'm going to be using a full sheet of nori, but you can make slightly smaller sushi if you want, and you would do that by cutting a full sheet in half, or actually folding it in half. The best way, I find, is to fold the sheet of nori over one way, and then fold it back on itself, and that basically breaks the spine of the nori sheet. And then you can very easily just pull that apart, and you've got 2 halves of a nori sheet. But as I say, I'm going to use a full sheet for this recipe. So now we've got all our ingredients together, we can get on and make the sushi rolls. I'm going to be using one of these bamboo rolling mats, and I've got my sheet of nori. This is a shinier side, so I put the shiny side down. So I'm going to be taking about 250 grams, 8 ounces of our sushi rice, and spreading it onto our nori sheet. And when you're handling the sushi rice, your hands should be a little bit damp. Now I've got a bowl of water here, just putting my hands into it to keep them damp, not soaking wet, but when you're handling the rice, it won't stick if your hands are damp. And as we push it across the nori sheet, we want to leave about 1 inch at the end there, so when we roll the nori up, we have a nice clean edge to our sushi. So you can see there the thickness that I've gone. It's probably about 1/2 inch thick with the sushi, and I'm going to do this one with just a regular crab stick. So I take a couple of crab sticks, and I'm also going to put some carrot in here. You just evenly place the carrot along the sushi. And I'm also going to put a few juliennes of cucumber on there as well. And we've made sure that the edge of our nori is up against the bamboo like this, and we're just going to lift it. You can either lift it by hand and just pull the ingredients towards you and roll the sushi over like that. Now what we're looking for is to bring, if I can show you there, bring the edge of our nori seaweed to meet the blank piece of nori that we left free. And you want to compact and squeeze the sushi together. And then what you can do is hold the bamboo mat like that and just firm up the sushi by pulling it back towards you. Now what I like to do is just take a little bit of water and run it along the edge of that before we close the sushi up. And then we can roll the sushi completely over and seal it like so. Now at this point, if you wanted to make the sushi square, you could actually squeeze the sushi into a square shape. Actually, I'll make this one a little more square. Or you could leave it round. And there we have it. There is our sushi roll ready to slice. Now it's a good idea to have a good sharp knife, and it's also a good idea to run water over it before you slice the sushi. We have a little salvage end here that we're just going to cut off. And then the rest of the sushi roll we want to cut about maybe 3/4 of an inch, just over a centimetre. And there you have our beautiful little sushi rolls, and we can just cut these all the way along. Occasionally we just want to dampen the knife. So that is my sushi with the nori on the outside. Let me show you now how we're going to make sushi with the rice on the outside. Now when we're doing our inside out sushi, we want to cover our bamboo mat in some cling wrap or plastic wrap like that. It'll just stop the rice from sticking to it. So for your inside out sushi, we're just going to take another full sheet of nori. Now you could do this with half sheets, of course, it'll make a smaller sushi. Get our hands a little bit damp. Take a good handful of sushi rice, actually a couple of handfuls. And this time we're going to spread the rice all the way over the nori from edge to edge. And when your sushi rice is spread across the nori, and again that's about 1/2 inch thick. Now these are black sesame seeds and they look wonderful, but they also taste great when you see them on the outside of the sushi. And you just want to sprinkle this over the top of the sushi rice. Now you can decide how much you like. I like it quite thick. I want to be able to taste it. Now if there is a tricky bit at all, it's lifting up your nori at the end and gently trusting you can flip your rice over the other way up. And this time we're going to be putting our filling. I'm going to be using avocado and tuna. Just an even distribution across the middle. And now I'm taking that tuna, which I mixed with a little Kewpie or Japanese mayonnaise. And by the way, I have a recipe for Kewpie. I might actually put that up very shortly on my channel, so keep a lookout for that. Because this is a delicious and unusual mayonnaise. And then we're going to roll our sushi over, and we're just going to get it to there and pull it in tight. Continue to roll it over. And we want to squeeze the sushi together fairly firmly as we roll. And there you have it. There is my inside out sushi. You can lift that off there now. And again, we want to take a sharp knife and just cut the salvage end off. And again, making sure the blade is wet so it doesn't stick to the rice, we are just going to cut off our little sushis, and don't they look absolutely fantastic? There you have it. Inside out and right way round sushi. I hope you've enjoyed this one. As I promised, I'll also be showing you how to make homemade Kewpie in the next few days. I just need to get that video filmed. And there is my sushi ready to serve. It looks delicious. I can't wait to try some of this. I've got the inside out and the outside in. I don't know if that's the right term. Maybe one of my Japanese viewers will give us the correct terminology down below. It's been a heap of fun. I hope you've learned something today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please share the love. Give this one the thumbs up and look out. I'll be doing the Kewpie very shortly. And I suppose I ought to really try one of these. I always do. Well, I'm going to take one of those half sheet nori ones to try. Not too big a mouthful. Well, not for me anyway. Let's give this a go. Delicious. That's absolutely fantastic. You must try these at home and get the family involved as well. It's a lot of fun. See you next time. Thank you for joining me again. I'm going to leave some links here to some of the other videos. Now, I've had a little bit of run on Japanese food this week. It's been a heap of fun. I'd love to hear your comments down below. Please subscribe to the channel. As always, be good. I'll see you in the next video.